that we can see it works. Okay, I'm going to close that down, and then I'm going to save this, and we're going to test it and see how it works. Okay, and there you go. It showed this is if your function doing blah blah blah. So it's showing the string that I've written there. So it's basically saying date, hour. Now, if $date is less than 20, then it says have a nice day. Okay. If we change this to 10 and we refresh this, see, nothing happens because it's over 10 o'clock during the day. So let's put this to 13. See what happens now. Okay, there you see it is working. Okay, because it's not yet 1 o'clock over here. So basically, what we're now going to do is we're going to chat about, now that was the if function, and you can see we basically said if something is this, then you got to display this. Let's have a look at the else function. The else function works a bit differently. The else function is basically where you go, okay, well, I want you to be this. If this is this, you do this, and if else, do something else. And that's the do something else that we're going to define right now. So we're basically going to go, we said, I'm going to change this back to 20. And I'm going to leave the string here, and then I'm going to write another period. I'm going to continue my if and else statement. So I'm going to go else. And I'm going to open my brackets and close my brackets, and then I'm going to say echo have a good night. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to say over here have a good day. So now we know that after the hour of 20, that is 8 o'clock in basic terms, then it would, before 8 o'clock, it's basically going to say have a good day. If it's after 10 o'clock, we're basically going to say have a good night. So we can actually change this by going 12, and then we can say have a good morning, and we can say have a good afternoon. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm just going to close my tags there. So if we save this and we display it on the screen, it says have a good morning. So something is definitely not working yet, because we said that if it's smaller than 12, it needs to say have a good morning. Otherwise, it's going to say have a good afternoon. So at the moment, it's the reason why it's not showing, the reason why it's still showing morning is because it's not 12 yet. Do you see that? So if we go and we change this to 11, and we hit save, and we say reply, you would say it says have a good afternoon. So that is how values work. So I'm going to put this back to 12. I'm going to save it. So now this is how the if functions work, if and else functions. So now we're going to have a look at the if else if else else if else 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 if function. Now basically we use the if else statement to select one or several blocks of code to be executed at a specific measurement. Now the example that I'm going to show you, basically we will be having a good morning, a good day, and a good night value. So if the current time is less than 10, it will basically have a good day. If the current time is less than 20, will output have a have a good day, and then the rest will show a good night. So we're going to change this to our value to 10. And then I'm going to say good morning, and then I'm going to say good afternoon, and then we are basically going to say, so we're saying if, over here we're going to add another, we're going to add something, we're going to say else if, and then basically I'm going to say echo, um, have a good afternoon. I'm going to change this to have a good evening. Okay, now the else if we are going to change, we're going to add a value, we're going to say $T less than 20. Okay, so now we said less than 10, we're going to say have a good morning. Less than 20, we're going to say have a good afternoon. If it's not one of those, then we're going to say have a good evening. So we're going to save this, and then we are going to have a look at what results we're getting. So I'm just going to reload it and just wait for the server to load up. While the server is loading up, I'm just going to make sure that everything is correct like we want it. And then, okay, so the server just loaded up. So if I press refresh, it will say have a good afternoon because we are past our date. So we are basically in the else if function. So if we go and change this to 12 and we change, yeah, let's change it to 12. We currently have 11:45, so we'll still be in the good morning bit. So if I go and press push, there we go, have a good morning. So that is how we use if and else functions to get what we want. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to chat about is switch statements. Now, switch statements are a bit more complicated than if-else functions. So I'm just going to create a new document. I'm going to save it as switch.php. Okay, and then I'm going to copy the first bit over again. Fantastic. Now I'm going to close the body tag, and I'm going to close my HTML tag. And now basically what I'm going to write is the following. I'm going to start defining my switch function. Now, we use the switch statement to select one or more blocks of code to be executed. Now, a switch to the if statement is very much similar. Just a switch statement, you have a better way of defining your your specific values, which makes it much better in essence. So, what we want to do is we want to start off by creating, of course, our switch statement. Now, this is basically how a switch statement works. First, we have the single expression, okay, most often a variable, okay. This this variable that is evaluated once the value of the expression is then compared with the value for each case in the structure. Now, if there is a match, the block of the code associated with that will be executed. Now we use the break to prevent the code from running into the next case automatically. Now the default statement is used if no match is found. Okay, so let's look at what they mean. So I'm going to start off by creating my PHP blocks. And inside of my PHP blocks, I'm going to start creating my switch statement. So I'm going to go $fave color equals red. Okay, once I've done that, I've basically went and said, okay, $fave color equals red. Now I'm going to go switch, okay, $fave